Yes, a good night's work here at the Bridge. Chelsea 2-0 winners over Tottenham Hotspur. Straight with the hashtag half-time. It is only half-time in the tie. Good night's work, Abby. 1 foot, as Ben said, in the Carabao Cup final.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We've definitely laid down a marker, haven't we? 2 goals. That was a really dominant performance from us. I do still feel a tiny bit disappointed that it's not like 4 or 5-0, just because we had so many chances. It felt like maybe we could have made even more of that in front of goal. But yeah, an amazing, dominant performance, and great to see you know, some players who haven't got minutes recently playing so well as well, and obviously Harvey Vale getting his home debut as well.
Yeah, really nice moment. Really nice moment. Like Abby said, you know, it's maybe there will be a little bit in the dressing room of it could have been better because we were that good at times tonight. There really were sort of leagues difference between us and Tottenham Hotspur. So that's a really positive moment. And to be 2-0 up, I think before the game, I know you said 2-0 on Play Predictor, but I think every Chelsea fan would have taken a 2-0 home win and a comfortable 2-0 home win.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's good to see that we've continued the way that we did after playing Liverpool, like positively dominating the game, feeling like we've come out as the, well, in this case the winners. Like against Liverpool, felt like we deserved the 3 points. And yeah, no, really good performance. Like, if you're being picky, again, kind of what we said at half-time, not finishing a game, not killing off a game, making sure that that game over in the second leg isn't already done before it's even kicked off yet. Especially after Ziyech takes that pass to Timo Werner. Like, it's an incredible pass. I mean, he does it for fun. He did it for Mason Mount against West Ham, which was an incredible finish. But yeah, look, I'm not going to say, I think Werner does make the right decision to chip him. I think Lloris does pretty well. But yeah, look, overall 2-0 with a bit in your hand off beforehand.
Absolutely right. Just getting an update as well that we wanted to share. Let's check this update out. Update from Stamford Bridge. Thomas Tuchel champagne from the back.
Hey.
Spurs are Spurs. Good work, Dan McCarthy.
Yes.
Maybe a heart attack.
Yeah, cheers to that. Absolutely.
It's been a night, Abby. It's been. Let's focus on the performance because, you know, like Zach said, at times we were brilliant tonight, and I suppose if we are being spoilt, potentially we'd want to be out of sight by now. But in terms of the football that was played, there was a chance right at the end for Romelu Lukaku after probably a 10-15 pass move involving Vale, Kovacic, Pulisic, Werner. Just everything seemed to be back and clicking that potentially we've not seen over the last couple of weeks at times. Yeah,
it was just beautiful at points, wasn't it? Really amazing football. So many intricate passes building up. It's such a shame Lukaku obviously didn't put that away. But then also there was that moment where he just totally pinned a defender. That was, well, doing what he does, and we know that he can do, but that's, you know, still very impressive. Everyone just seemed to be playing at their best today, to be honest, and linking up, probably the best we've seen in a couple of weeks.
We said this, and we've said this kind of continuously. We've been performing okay, but we've just not quite had the rub of the green, the luck or whatever. In the first half, when Kai Havertz scoops the goalkeeper and it deflects in off Davinson Sanchez, and then you get an own goal where it's headed on to someone else, that's that bit of luck that we've been missing. And I suppose it's a little bit like that, isn't it? It's come to in a game where we've been crying out for it the last couple of weeks. But that's the luck our performances have earned and deserved over the last couple of weeks.
For sure. I think if we came out of this game and it was a 0-0 draw, I think we would have been severely disappointed considering how well we dominated them. Spurs really didn't offer that much, even in the second half. They were much more improved in the first half, but I think that just says how bad they were in that first half. Yeah, I think 2-0 solid. Like, I think, again, like, Thomas Tuchel won't be over the moon. He won't be overly satisfied. Like, we've got to get to this point where we are taking every single chance, because that is when you are at the best of your game. And we have had that at times this season. There have been games, Norwich, for example, like 7 goals shows that you're taking your chances. But yeah, I think it's coming. It's definitely, it feels like we're building towards it now. Like, I feel like we're out of that rut that we kind of were in during December. We're not drawing games that we could have. Like, maybe in December this game's drawn, whereas today we are getting a little bit of the luck of the green, rub of the green, I should say, luck of the green, and yeah, things are going away. Absolutely
right. Let's get our knee-jerk reaction in for tonight then. 4 at the back could get the best out of this set of players. Now it's a strange one, isn't it? But it's. Obviously, we've played very well tonight in a 4 at the back. We're not saying that that's going to be the system going forward, but it does give Thomas Tuchel another hand to play, should he want to. And also, you know, we've seen that the big thing now is being adaptable with the players that you can have available. Now there is another option. We've had a 4 at the back, and we've got almost like a case study to report on and look at and see areas we can improve. We saw Christian Pulisic playing right back at the end there.
Yeah, I was about to say that at the end. I was like, hang on a minute, this guy's played nearly everywhere this season. He'll be in goal next week.
The versatility of this squad's massive, isn't it? That's such a key part of it as well, Zach.
No, 100%. Even in this one, 4 at the back, we played 4-2-2, and we also played 4-2-3-1. And I think it was a good tester. I think Thomas Tuchel has yet to kind of try 4 at the back, and he saw that it worked today. Alongside Sar and Rudiger were fantastic. Saul played that DM position really, really well. Was fantastic. Really good at winning that ball back today. Created like some chances from it as well. And yeah, no, it is good to see. When we play through at the back, it was always our wing backs are so important with how much they create. And obviously now with Reece James out for a little while, and obviously sadly Ben Chilwell out for the season, it gives you another option here. This way, okay, instead of having your wing backs doing it, you add another man that was playing defence into attack who could do it. And Hakim Ziyech here showed how good he can be during that, how much more freedom he gets when he kind of plays central and on that right wing, that left foot and picking out some passes and crosses that they're just so dangerous. So yeah, it's just another thing to add to Chelsea's repertoire where if things aren't going our way, we can go to a four at the back.
Absolutely right. Let's get the game on social then. It started, of course, pre-match. All the chat was about returning Antonio Conte. Listening to Antonio Conte giving me flashbacks. It's a little bit, wasn't it? You do remember.
Definitely won't be happy after this game.
Oh no!
Like this one. My view of that Havertz goal, struggling to get into the north lower tier. That's a nice one. I mean, it's a great goal. It's worth watching back on the fifth stand a little bit later on. Highlights will be available for you. There's a lot of fun to be going, and that's the good mood, isn't it? That's the good mood that beating Tottenham Hotspur at home does give you. Everything is just nicer. If you've missed the goal and it's ended 1-0, you're probably a bit fuming. But the fact there was another one, hopefully that person got in for the second goal.
Yeah, there's 2 goals to watch back, and beating Spurs, is there any sweeter feeling? I'm not sure there is, to be honest. Well, maybe winning the Champions League, but we don't like to bring that up too much.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe you're right. Let's get some more social media reaction then from the game. Alonso versus Spurs, prime Roberto Carlos, and as well Kai Havertz bags another for Chelsea in another big game. In other words, water is wet. He does have a little bit about him, doesn't he, in terms of big game players, Zach? He's popped up at the biggest stage of all, of course, Champions League final. But again, when you need him to be called upon, he seems to deliver the goods when needed. He
does, and he's another versatile player that kind of plays wherever he wants. Thomas Tuchel absolutely adores him, loves him. Again, been through the wars in this game as well. Had something go in his eye, done his finger in. So, yeah, I think with Kai, like, he's only going to get better and better. And if he's already performing to this stage where we're already impressed with him, he's someone that over the next couple of years is going to, I think, really develop into one of the world's best stars, and we'll be lucky to have him.
I completely agree. Mason Mount was superb first half, wasn't he? Quite a lot of social media reaction on to Mason. Tell me Mount doesn't look more comfortable in this role. Looked very good tonight, Robert. He really did. Mount has so much space behind Havertz and Lukaku, playing that almost Lampard-esque role. He'll create even more than he does from there. It suits him so far. I think the thing is with Mason, he's brilliant in any system, isn't he? Like, I mean, here, same person, Bill, getting involved. Early on, Mount is dropping in behind and what looks like a front two of Havertz, Lukaku. Seeing Mount drop deep into midfield to get the ball always looks more natural for me, for him to me, than out wide. Nice start to the game. He has that ability, Abby, doesn't he, to be not only versatile, but he looks comfortable whatever role. We've seen him play a 6 and he looks brilliant. We've seen him play as an 8, he looks great. A 10, all these kind of football cliches. What the ultimate is that Mason Mount is an exceptional footballer, and exceptional footballers that find their way in games, whatever system or whatever role they're playing. Yeah,
he's just an all-round player, isn't he? You know, obviously offensively he's brilliant now. He's starting to score kind of more goals than ever before, but he's also not afraid to dig in, run back and defend, you know, kind of do the dirty work as well. He's just an amazing team player, isn't it? I think everyone plays their best when he's on the pitch, and he's bringing the best out of them as well. You know, we're just lucky to have him. It's just Mason Mount masterclass like every match, isn't it? Weirdly, we're just so used to it that we don't make too much of a fuss of it, really. But yeah, he's phenomenal.
We are desensitised to his brilliance, aren't we? The second goal was an enjoyable goal from a Chelsea perspective. Mark Goldbridge, big Manchester United fan, Comedy Channel defending from Spurs. His name is Japhet Tanganga. He dropped an almighty clanger. That's to the tune of Copacabana by Barry Manilow.
His name is...
It's a bit harsh. It's a bit harsh on him, to be fair. I feel for him a little bit. I think anyone that's watched the documentary, Japhet Tanganga was one of the few that came across very well, actually, in that documentary. But again, it's a good night whenever Chelsea beat Spurs, Zach. Yeah. And it's like we said, it's only half-time, but we're in a very commanding position.
No, we are indeed. I think Thomas Tuchel can go into that second leg, and maybe if he does need to rest someone like Mason Mount and start someone like Barkley or Loftus-Cheek, then I think he can do so with a good amount of confidence. That being said, Antonio Conte, we know what he's like, right? If anything, this will spur him on even more to try and get something out of the next game. And so, obviously, we've got an FA Cup game against Chesterfield coming up this weekend. I probably expect that one to see quite a lot more changes, a lot more chance of maybe Mason getting a rest there, and then he'll probably play against against Spurs in the second leg next week. And then you've also got the academy boys as well. Harvey Vale featured today. Like, one of the beautiful things about these boys that come through the academy, just like Mason Mount, just like Reece James, so many of these guys, Conor Gallagher, who's on loan at Crystal Palace, they can all play so many different positions. I think that's just part of being in the Chelsea academy now, is you learn to play several positions. And so that could be to the benefit of Thomas Tuchel for Chesterfield, which then means these boys get a rest and play against Spurs.
Absolutely right, yeah, very good performance all round. A man that was instrumental in Chelsea's 2-0 win tonight, including setting up that second goal. It's Hakim Ziyech. Here he is talking pitch side.
Hakim, first of all, big performance, big win. You must be delighted.
Yeah, I think we'll be happy with the performance today, and we couldn't kill the game more, but 2-0 I think is a good result with the game next week.
It felt like a very controlled performance from the start today.
Yeah, I think the first half was trying to make the goal early. We did, and then from there out we tried to score more. But the second one came, and I think in the second half it was more controlled. They had some chances, we had some chances, but I think our chances were bigger than theirs. But like I said, we forgot to kill the game, but 2-0, I think everybody is happy right now.
And a slightly different system tonight. How easy is it to adapt when you're switching back to a back four?
No, I think if you look at the performance first half, it wasn't that difficult to adapt. So we have enough experience in the back to play in a 5 or in a 4. It doesn't really matter, and with a 4 it made it for us more easier on midfield, because it was 4 against 2, so we had more spaces, and I think we took advantage of it.
And it was a sharp start. How is everyone looking as fresh as they are with so many games at the moment? It's incredible.
Yeah, I think everybody is most of the squad is fit, and we're trying to perform every 3 days and reach our higher levels, and that's the motivation.
Are you one of those players that would prefer to play every 3 days rather than train?
Yeah, no. I prefer to play games than training, but it's part of the job.
As you said earlier, 2-0, a great result to take into the second leg at Spurs next week.
Yeah, of course. We have one. We played one half, and the other one so it's next week, and we're ready for it.
Top man. Thanks, Hakim. Appreciate it. Thank you, Steve.
Brilliant Hakim Ziyech, pitch side there. Yeah, very, very important performance from him tonight. Someone else that was superb this evening, getting a lot of praise online, is Saul, with brilliant in that double six position, or I suppose in a midfield too, more so today. Saul is playing like a man possessed today. Really was. Saul versus Tottenham Hotspur 2021 highlights.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that.
Wow.
And this as well. This is a nice one. Saul looks like a brand new player. You love to see it. I want to talk about Saul because he's been a player that's found it difficult, I suppose. Thomas Tuchel said that himself, but it's such a big deal to come to a football club in the middle of a pandemic. We mentioned this last season about Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech himself there, Kai Havertz. It takes a while for players to adapt. Saul tonight, we spoke about missing N'Golo Kanté, which is such a big deal. He had 6 tackles tonight, Saul, and 3 interceptions. Those are numbers that are N'Golo Kanté numbers.
Yeah.
Like, they're that good. He was brilliant today, playing a different role, very good on the ball. He needed a performance like that because we know how good he is. We know how good he is. And that was the performance tonight that showed us against Tottenham, your biggest rivals. If you're going to pull out a performance like that, semi-final's not a bad place to do it.
I was thrilled when I heard he was coming to Chelsea, and I know the fan base as well were like, OK, this is a good bit of business, And I feel like he's not quite settled, but then today we've seen the best version of him. The tackles he was making were crucial. He was not afraid to just get stuck in, and a lot of those then led to big chances. And I just thought he looked really comfortable and composed when he had the ball as well. Just a really solid performance from him. So I'm just chuffed for him. I'm really happy to see him fly him.
He's been brilliant, Zach. He has been brilliant today, and it shows a huge amount of character and mentality as well to come from the adversity of it not going amazingly well to start with. I think he's kind of said that himself. Thomas Tuchel said that as well. But to react the way he has reacted, and he's going to be a very big player for Chelsea in the second half of the season.
Yeah, it was like signing a new player, to be quite honest. He had quite a tough year. Even last year, he wasn't really playing for Atletico Madrid, but this is a guy that is featured in Champions League finals. He won the league last year at Atletico Madrid, even though he didn't play that much. And he came here, and we've said many a times, like, it doesn't happen for every player to just join a league, join a whole new country. Your family's probably still in Spain, all this kind of stuff, and just be good from the off. Like, it takes time. It takes time to adapt, especially to someone like Thomas Tuchel's system. And maybe today helped him slightly, playing 4 at the back, an extra midfielder, gave him a bit more support in there. But he did the role really, really well today. He kind of won the ball back, progressed it forward, went forward himself at times when needed, and it was a joy to watch. Like, you're right, we didn't have N'Golo Kanté there today, but it felt like he filled that void.
Absolutely right. I don't know if you saw this, but Harry Kane wasn't too happy with Tony Rudiger today. Not happy with Rudiger.
I don't think there's many strikers that will play against Antonio Rudiger and be happy afterwards.
No, he did not get any change, did he? Any change out of him. But that back two as well of Antonio Rudiger and Malang Sarr I thought were brilliant today. There was a chance at one point where we thought Malang Sarr might get unfairly sent off for a second booker ball, which wouldn't have been warranted because, again, both of them today were absolutely brilliant.
Oh, absolutely. No one was getting past either of them, weren't they? You know what Rudiger's like? He's one of the best man markers in the league. But I thought Malang Sarr had a really great performance. Really, really happy to see him performing at such a high level.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Let's hear from the man himself then, shall we? The main man, Thomas Tuchel, was speaking to Lee.
Thomas, congratulations. What pleased you most about the performance tonight?
The performance. I mean, we had another bad news in front of the game. Thiago was supposed to start. N'Golo was supposed to start. So to play with a back 5, you need to have 5 defenders. We did not have any 5 defenders anymore, or who were like used to play maybe once in a back 5. So we decided to play in a back 4. We needed the full commitment, open-minded squad, which was the case, and the guys did brilliant today. We did not allow chances and created a lot. Very impressive because it was a difficult moment to play Tottenham. They come from a strong run. They have a lot of confidence and were well prepared. But we were strong and strong as a team and individual, very, very focused. So especially the boys who did not play a lot, I'm very happy.
Just on that, how impressed were you with Saul and also Jorginho in midfield today?
Yeah, Saul, Georgie as well, but especially Saul, Malang and Hakim today is for me outstanding because they didn't play a lot in the last games. Come in, play a huge game, semi-final, Tottenham. We know what it means to our fans here at Stamford Bridge to play this game and play like this was impressive.
You mentioned injuries earlier. How's Kai? Obviously went off at half-time.
I think he broke his finger. It looks like it's broken. If this is not broken, I will be very surprised. So it huge pain. He tried to play through it, but no, that was at half-time was the latest moment to take him off.
And Aspie came off towards the end. How's he looking?
Seems to be a cramp and not an injury, so good news.
You must be looking through your fingers, thinking you can't lose another defender.
No, it's not possible.
A big performance, like you said, against a big rival. The atmosphere was key as well tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, atmosphere was good. Supporters supported us as a team, pushed us, and it's always a give and take. The team was excellent. Showed the commitment that you need to show, and showed the energy that we want to show to our supporters, that they see that we give everything and we are focused and have full commitment as a team. It's what they did, and the supporters followed, so it was nice win.
Thanks, Thomas. Let you get back in the warm.
He's brilliant, isn't he? Just absolutely brilliant.
I love that man.
He's
Love him.
so good.
What
He's
a guy, so likeable.
He really is. He mentioned there about potentially having to make a late change because of the illness for N'Golo Kanté and Thiago Silva, and he makes a point there of you have to play a 4 if you haven't got 5 defenders. It's a very good point. It's a very good point.
Yeah.
I suppose the fact that we've got Chesterfield at the weekend is maybe another opportunity to try that 4 at the back, Abby.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we were all very surprised when, as Thomas Tuchel, we've now found out, was also surprised there was a back 4 today. But the fact that it worked so well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in future games for sure. And Chesterfield feels a good time to try it out again.
Who do you think we could see coming in, Zach? I suppose again, it's difficult to predict at the moment, but in terms of ideally,
touch wood, nothing else happens, and where we are. I think we might see a lot of changes. I think a lot of the young boys might get a chance here. Harvey Vale, I think the fact that he's just come on kind of feels like, well, you're going to probably start against Chesterfield. A few of the other boys that featured as well against Brentford, I'd assume so. Some new faces as well. I think, Simmons we'll probably see at the back too, Xavier Simmons. And then what he might do as well is mix it up, and maybe he'll start Romelu as well to give a bit of experience. And it's also about respecting your opponent, right? Chesterfield aren't anything to muck around with. If you put out a weak side that isn't respecting them enough, they might make a shock. And so if you mix it with the right experience, and Romelu obviously didn't feature against Liverpool, so he's kind of had that rest. He doesn't necessarily need it. Give him 45 at least, and then get him off at half-time if needed. And so, yeah, I think like maybe Ross Barkley might feature. Callum Hudson-Odoi didn't play against Spurs today, so he might come on. So I think there'll be a nice mix between some of the young boys and then also some of the guys that are currently in the first team.
I suppose that's the good balance, Abby. The fact it's at home as well. Like Zach said, you can't take Chesterfield lightly. They've done very well in the previous run against Salford City, who get a good side the league above, but they outrun them, outperformed them in every department. It's a big step up to play Chelsea, but if you get that balance right between play, I mean, Timo Werner, you know, I'd be surprised we didn't see some of Timo because he's not had a huge amount of minutes the last couple of weeks, and he could do with that. It's a good opportunity to get players like that back in, whilst also, like Zach said, potentially seeing some new faces. Lewis Hall's has been on the bench a couple of times. Harvey Vale's been in and out. Mbe Amber as well, the centre half, who's come up from the PL2 side and been in the squad a couple of times. Soon Sup Bell. There's a number of players that potentially could get the nod, and it'll be nice as well. The fact it's at home that Chelsea fans will potentially get an opportunity to see some new faces.
Yeah, as you said, there's so many exciting academy stars coming through, as we're used to at Chelsea, if we're honest.
Man.
You know, we're spoiled, but these players are going to hopefully start on Saturday, and they're going to have the support of the Stamford Bridge crowd, which is obviously going to kind of boost them no end. Like you say, Lewis Hall, I'm so desperate for him to get a run out. It feels like he's been on the bench a couple of times, but not got his moment yet. So hopefully that will come on Saturday, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see people like Callum Hudson-Odoi, and as you mentioned, Timo Werner also just doing what they do, causing havoc, using their pace to cause teams some problems, and good to see them getting some minutes as well. So I imagine that will be a mixture of those kind of players, and then these academy stars having their moment, hopefully.
There's also that bit of, we've got this second leg next week. Thomas Tuchel's been in 9 semi-finals in his career, won all 9. So
it's not a bad stat,
he's
that.
not.
Wow.
So that tells you he's not taking anything for granted, anything lightly, and he's certainly not going to drop the ball in the game next Wednesday. So there is an opportunity that potentially it becomes almost like a two-game affair, the Chesterfield and the Spurs one. It kind of blends between the two. Maybe he wants to get some players 60 minutes over the two, etc. So there'll be a bit maybe of a blend between what we see Saturday and then hopefully what we'll see on Wednesday. Yeah,
indeed. And the game after that one as well is Manchester City, a big one in the league, which is not going to be easy at all. It's about making sure you don't. We talk about this red zone as well. Make sure that people aren't overplaying and that they're fit enough. But obviously, you want to get to this final. You want to get to the League Cup final. Chelsea have a good love relationship with that cup, and so I think if you can make your way to that final and go all the way and win it, like, it just gives you so much motivation for the rest of the season to add towards your trophy cabinet, whether that is in the league, whether that is European or domestically. To go all the way, I think that's the only aim.
Absolutely right. And we will leave the final word tonight to Jeremy Clarkson.
Hey,
very nice. Very nice. Enjoyed that a lot. Here's what's coming up on the Fifth Stand over the next couple of days for us then. Friday afternoon, do join us for the manager Thomas Tuchel's press conference ahead of Chelsea versus Chesterfield. And then on Saturday, 4:25, our FA Cup journey begins on the hunt for a 9th FA Cup trophy. Yes, please. And a 3rd potential FA Cup final as well. Abby, Zach, brilliant as always. Thank you very much for joining us. It's always a good night when you beat Spurs at the Bridge. Enjoy the rest of your week.